I just brought back my most consistent Open Grade League team and instantly had success, with a little bit of a twist on the team. Now, previously when I ran this team, I made it all the way up to 3384. I got my notes over there. 3384 ELO, definitely the top 500 in the world. And a lot of other people tried out this team, including other content creators like Rise to the Occasion, and had success. And I believe he still has that video up on his channel. I'll link it in the description down below if you want to check out Rise running the team. Now, what do I mean by there's a twist? Well, Skarmory was the lead before Skarmory's out of the meta, but we have a brand new steel flying type Corviknight. I know Corviknight's a bit of a mixed bag. A lot of people thought it was going to be too powerful, and then people feel like it's too weak now. At the end of the day, it's rank 7 on PvPoke. This thing is still good. It still puts in a ton of work, and it does what it needs to on this team because, of course, the backline is going to be double dragons, and we need Corviknight to be able to handle the fairies and fight back, of course, against the ice types as well. So, Corviknight on the lead. Dragalge is the safe swap. You need Gunk Shot on the safe swap. The point of Dragalge is to lure out the fairy types and then to be able to either nuke them with the Gunk Shot or to grab a shield, and then at least Hakumo has a shield advantage. Corviknight cleans up the fairy. Hakumo sweeps with the potential to drop your opponent's defense with Brick Breaker, and then just the consistent damage from Dragon Tail and Dragon Claw. Let's go ahead and get into some of these battles and see how it played out this time around. Let's go. Jumping into the first battle, we have Corviknight up against an Azumarill lead. So this is where we want to see the Azumarill. Dragalge does have a positive matchup against Azumarill generally, since Ice Beam doesn't one-shot and Gunk Shot basically does one-shot. But if I had my pick, I would just have it here on Corviknight. We're going to be firing off Sky Attack. Sky Attack is the more energy efficient move. Sand Attack does allow us to get there fairly quickly, and you can see it's going to take 2 Sky Attacks plus quite a few Sand Attacks to take out an Azumarill. So Ice Beam comes through. No real reason to fear a Hydro Pump. Nobody's really running Hydro Pump right now. They do eventually swap out into Drapion, and this is where Hakumo absolutely shines. I'm going to stay in, just bank a little bit more energy on Corviknight, and come in with Hakumo to just completely wall the moveset of this Drapion. You can see they fire off the Aqua Tail, confused of what to do here. They're going to be firing off the Crunch next, and it's just no big deal. We're not even into the red yet, and we've tanked 2 charge attacks from a Shadow Drapion. There's not a lot of Pokemon that can do that. We are going to fully get the farm down. Out comes the Clodsire, and we're going to be able to just chip away with the Dragon Claw. Now, Dragon Claw, not the most impressive move, but you can see 2 of them plus these Dragon Tails is going to be putting them into the yellow. So now, is my opponent going to throw up a shield to protect this? Yes, they actually are. And we have Dragalge, which of course has Aqua Tail to be able to hit for super effective damage into the Clodsire. But for now, we're going to go ahead and come in with Corviknight, see if they even have Stone Edge. This one does, that's fine. But my Dragalge up a shield. Honestly, all we have to do is shield these Earthquakes. We already know that we're not going to get one-shot by an Ice Beam. These Poison Stings are doing basically nothing into Dragalge. And we're going to be able to get to these Aqua Tails fairly quickly. So here comes the Azumarill. They're going to fire off this Ice Beam, and then they're going to be basically dry of energy. I believe they have 1 residual bubble. That's not really a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and do 4 more Dragon Tails. Or 3 more. 3 more. I knew the counts in game, of course. And we're going to just CMP them, take them out with the Aqua Tail. We're only 2 Dragon Tails away from the next Aqua Tail, and my opponent knows it's over. So that's going to be GG's. Well played. All right, next one, into a Dewgong lead. So this is where we really want to see Dewgong. Unless Hakumo is up energy, you really don't want to see it there since you're taking super effective from everything, and you're only hitting super effective with the Brick Breaker, which honestly not the best move until you start dropping your opponent's defense. We are going to go ahead and overform. Now, I didn't throw immediately there. I could have got the Steel Wing off before the Icy Wind. I decided they're less likely to shield if I go ahead and let them debuff me first. So I decided to let them debuff me first. Now, I don't know if that's the right play. The next Dewgong I faced, I don't know if both ended up in this video. I did go ahead and throw the Steel Wing. I'm sorry, that shouldn't be Steel Wing. What is that move? Iron Head. Iron Head. I will correct that on screen right here. I did throw the Iron Head immediately in the second one, and they still didn't shield, but it would have been really awkward if they did. So maybe, I don't know. I think how I played it here was perfectly fine, because I get them low enough that I can Dragon Tail down. I take 2 Ice Shards. It's not that big of a deal, right? So we do lure out a Toxapex. Now, we don't have Outrage, but we're also resisting everything from Toxapex. I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just eat some energy here. And then I'm going to bait the Outrage to see if I can grab a shield. Obviously, they don't have a great answer to my Dragalge, so they're probably going to want to protect this, right? Well, that'd be wrong. They do go ahead and no shield. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Hakamo now since I can hit it with more neutral damage. And I will be shooting up the potential Sludge Wave. Is it the Sludge Wave? No, of course not. It's going to be the Brine Bait. These Toxapex lately have really loved to bait. I don't know why. I'm going to go ahead and throw the next Dragon Claw before they make the next Brine, and they do decide to let it go. In the back, going to be a Diggersby, and here's the thing. This is their last Pokemon. They have no way to clear this Brick Breaker, or it's Brick Break. I don't know what any of these charge moves are. I apologize. For those that play Mario Party, in the newest one, there's a mini game called Brick Breaker, and I think I got confused. I've been playing some Mario Party. My bad. Anyways, going to be able to pull the first shield there with the Dragon Claw. I could have gone for another Brick Break, but we're perfectly fine. We can just get to double Aqua Tail here. And that's going to be a GG's. This is definitely taking out after the defense is already dropped and it hits for super effective damage. That's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. I like Dragalge as a safe swap. I think we kind of went through the Mud Slap era where I thought that it wasn't going to be any good. But it has Aqua Tail, so if we see a Marowak, we're still hitting back for super effective with Aqua Tail. Like, we can still pull a shield. I mean, Gastrodon, sure. Gastrodon would be pretty bad. But how often do you actually see Gastrodon? I mean, I see 1 or 2 a day, but it's not that common that I should really be afraid. Anyways, here we layer out in Azumarill. I decide not to bait. I go for the Gunk Shot. If I would have baited, I would have been able to pull the shield and get to the Gunk Shot. Instead, they're going to get a really nice bubble down, which is pretty awkward. They have a lot of energy, but we already know 2 Ice Beams do not KO Corviknight. Corviknight got a decent amount of bulk to it, right? In fact, they're going to need 3 Ice Beams or a whole bunch of bubbles. So I'm going to go ahead and even let this second Ice Beam go. I'm just hoping that they do not pivot out of here. So I am going to be firing pretty quickly. I recognize that I'm going to be needing 2 moves, and so I figure Iron Head plus the Sand attacks, maybe 2 Iron Heads would do it. After landing the first Iron Head, I recognize that I'm going to need a Sky Attack, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot up this next Ice Beam. I'm going to go for the Sky Attack, and really I don't even think this is going to KO, so maybe it was just a misplay to go for that first Iron Head. Yeah, it's not going to KO. Do I get the Sand Attack down? I don't. So if I just go straight Sky Attack there, we do take out the Azumarill, but it's low enough now that I can let this go and just put my faith in Hakamo O. In the back, going to be a Serperior. So we have Serperior Talonflame core. It's not super uncommon. The only real answer for dragons was the Azumarill. And maybe I still have a little bit of play, but that Talonflame is very healthy. So I'm really hoping I don't have to give up my final shield here. And you're going to see we just get outpaced. Serperior is too bulky, so we are going to get outpaced. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go for the Dragon Tail down, and I'm seeing exactly 1 win con. Exactly 1 win con, and it comes with a Brick Break bait. Going for the Brick Break, if this pulls the shield, it drops the defense, and maybe my Dragon Claw will KO. Talonflame not known for its bulk. We do get the defense drop. Is this enough to take them out? And it's not. It puts them deep into the red. We needed 1 more Dragon Tail there, and that would have been enough, but unable to get it, and that's perfectly fine. That's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Hakamo putting in work, just not quite enough work. Alright, into the next one. Up against an Annihilape lead. I've seen some people that run Air Slash on Corviknight for the fighters. I think Sand Attack is definitely the way to go. Maybe Steel Wing has some play, but I think Sand Attack is just generally better. I go over the Iron Head bait here. Like, who would no-shield here? There's only 1 Sand Attack difference. Of course, I'm going to throw the Sky Attack, right? And they call it. I don't know. They did though. They did. Anyways, they build up to the Ice Punch. They have already boosted their attack. I do want to respect it, but I will be taking out the Annihilape. And then they come out with a Dewgong. So really confused by my opponent's plays, to be honest, because why didn't you just bring this out immediately? I don't know. I have enough energy for the Outrage or the Gunk Shot. So I do decide to go ahead and throw the bait. I know my Corviknight's already below half health, so he can't do it by himself. So I am going to go ahead and shield that up, and I am just praying that I am not misreading this situation. My opponent's been playing weird. Do they double shield? Yes, they do. So I keep that energy on my Dragalge. I come in with my Corviknight, and I tank this Icy Wind. They're staying in here with their Dewgong, so I am going to be able to get this Sky Attack off. Of course, after being debuffed, and probably even before being debuffed, it's not going to be enough to take out. But it does put them into the red, so now I have a decision to make. I can come in with Hakumo, and I can take an Icy Wind. Or I can come in with Dragalge and never get to the Gunk Shot, but I can at least get this Aqua Tail off. So I'm going to go ahead and CMP with the Aqua Tail to put them nice and low, ensure that they don't make it to another Icy Wind on my Hakumo. Oh, and let my Dragalge go down. In the back, going to be a dream matchup. It's going to be the Dunsparce. We're going to be able to get this Brick Breaker off, and of course we are resisting all the rollouts, so all they can do is hit us for neutral with the drill runs. So will 2 drill runs take out Hakumo? Hakumo has some decent bulk to it, so you can see I am not in the yellow after the first drill run, which means the second one will not be taking out my Hakumo, and I can just easy farm down the Dunsparce, leave with the break, ready to go for the Dewgong, and that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Let's go. All right, Morpeko lead. This is obviously not horrible for Corviknight since we do have Sand Attack and Morpeko is very glassy, but I am going to go ahead and bank up some energy and then come in with my Dragalge. Now, of course, Morpeko does have access to Psychic Fangs. It's non-stab, shouldn't hurt too bad, right? I mean, it definitely does hurt, but I mean, we're luring out a Quagsire anyway, so they were going to be doing super effective damage. I'm glad I did not use my shield. I'm going to be able to pull the shield back with the Aqua Tail there. Perhaps they thought it could have been the Outrage, and my opponent is going to throw before the next Aqua Tail is reached. So they're running Aqua Tail, which means they're not running Mud Bomb, which means Hakumo is once again just going to wall all this energy. So we're going to go ahead and just come in with Hakumo. They're going to be firing off the Aqua Tail. That's perfectly fine. Now Quack does hit hard enough, and the mud shots are not resisted, that this will be putting me into the red, but I'm leaving with energy on my Hakumo, and I'm going to be able to come in with my Corviknight to get that energy lead to really put me in a much better spot into this Morpeko. Morpeko does have enough energy for the Aura Wheel, so I will be respecting it. I'm going to be over farming just a bit and going for the Sky Attack. I don't think that Iron Head would be enough from this range, so going to be firing off the Sky Attack to ensure the KO, and my opponent is going to go ahead and shield. And then I thought my counts were right. I was like, that can only be Psychic Fangs. But I showed anyways because I'm scared. Morpekos are a bit scary, right? No, this time they're definitely an Iron Head Rage. So I am going to throw before they make it to their next Psychic Fangs. And what do they have in the back? Going to be a Jumpluff. This is not an uncommon core either. Jumpluff pairs pretty well with Morpeko. Now what I did there is I swapped one turn before they were at their air race. That way I could lock in the Dragon Claw and get this CMP sack swap, which is absolutely huge. I'm hoping that I put them in Sky Attack range since Sky Attack is super effective, but Corviknight a little too bulky for Sky Attack to be hitting that hard. So they are going to be able to withstand this, but we're also resisting everything from them. They didn't build up to Acrobatics. I know this is only going to be an Aerial Ace, and now I'm just going to be able to outpace to this Iron Head. And even though this only hits for neutral, it will definitely be enough to take out the Jumpluff. So that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Let's go. I jump into the next one, up against a Shadow Drapion, a dream lead to be honest. We double resist the Poison Stings here, we resist the Poison Stings with Dragalge, and we resist all the charge moves with Hakumo. So I really don't care where this lands. They're going to be safe swapping out into a Feraligatr. I try to catch the Hydro Cannon, or at least I farm some extra energy before swapping. They overfarm, they go for the Ice Beam, we do correctly shield it, and I am forced to throw my Dragon Claw here before they make the next Ice Beam. Now, I know they have no reason to bait, but again, I don't care where the Drapion is, and we saw Drapion lead, we know there's an Azumarill in the back, so if I just get a little bit of an energy lead on my Dragalge, we're going to be in a great spot here. They come back in with their Drapion. I'm going to go ahead and swap out into Corviknight, just in case my reads are wrong, right? It seems like they had another answer for Corviknight since they swapped, but no, it's just going to be the Azumarill, right? Very common core, and I have nothing against the core. The core works, right? That's why people run it. But we're just going to go ahead and tank this Ice Beam. really all I have to do is pull the shield from this Azumarill and we should be in a winning spot. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Sky Attack. That does connect. They're into the yellow. Firing the next Sky Attack at good timing before they make their next Ice Beam. This is going to be putting them into the red. And at this point, I did not pull the shield. I did not succeed there. But they're in Aqua Tail range and they allow me to get this Iron Head off. This isn't their shielding. I'm expecting them to swap. I actually do one more Sand Attack, thinking, oh, they're going to see that I'm still in. They're going to throw the Aqua Tail. It didn't work. That's perfectly fine, though. We're just going to farm this down. And Dragalge's easily going to win CMP against the Azumarill. This actually ended up being only an Aqua Tail. I thought they had energy for a crunch. Maybe my counts were off. Maybe they just were messing around. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Aqua Tail takes out the Azumarill, and that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. All right, into the next one. Up against a Talonflame lead. Yeah, that's the right play. I messed this up a couple times. What you want to do is one Sand Attack and then swap. If you want to do any at all, you don't have to, right? But if you do one Sand Attack and swap, then you will make the Aqua Tail one turn before their third Incinerate finishes. And so that way you can pull their shield before they potentially try to pull your shield. We lure out a Gastrodon. You can see they actually went for the Body Slam there, which allows us to pull a shield. That's a beautiful thing for me. Now they're going to be farming up. Now they did farm up to the Water Pulse. I don't really believe that they have it. I'm just going to go ahead and no shield. And it is indeed the Water Pulse, but it's no big deal. It only hits for neutral. And look at this. We're going to get this nice juicy farm down on this Gastrodon. So the team working exactly as you wanted, right? You lure out the ground type or the fairy type. You get the farm down. And now I have energy to threaten this Talonflame. You can see 2 Sky Attacks will KO. And that damage puts Hakumo in such a good spot because now we can farm down this Talonflame before they make 3 moves. And in the back is going to be a Shadow Alolan Marowak. Definitely a beast of a Pokemon. I want to make sure that I'm getting damage in here. I don't want to bait with the Brick Break. But actually in hindsight, we're going to need 2 moves anyways. No, in hindsight, that's the right play because we don't want to get outpaced. We don't want to get outpaced here. So I'm going to fire off this second Dragon Claw before they throw their second Bone Club. That's going to be forcing the shield. And at this point, my Hakumo's done his job. I'm perfectly fine with it going down to this Bone Club. All I have to do is throw into the Talonflame with the Sky Attack and then make sure that I pace before they make a Rock Slide. Bone Club shouldn't be enough to take out from this range. And in fact, we're actually just going to get the Sand Attack down. Bone Club would have been close actually after the Mud Slaps, but we do get the Sand Attack down. That's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. So yeah, I mean, the team worked. Like, it worked better than I thought it was going to work. I was kind of walking through it in my head. After Corey and I came back, I was thinking about it for a few days. I was like, I don't know why it wouldn't work. And then it worked. It worked instantly. All 3 sets were positive. I was very happy with how the team performed. So let me know if you're going to try this team out in the comments down below. I know some people have tried the Corviknight Goodra core. I don't think anyone's tried the Corviknight Hakumo O core, at least that I've seen, and it was beautiful for me. So let me know if you tried it out in the comments down below, or let me know what's been working for you in the Open Grade League, or are you trying out the Little Jungle Cup? I'm not against it. I used to like the Little Jungle Cup. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back. Let me know in the comments if you want to see some Little Jungle Cup content. Maybe I'll do it. Also, I'm going to start uploading shorts again, so be on the lookout for that. It'll be a day or 2 after this, but I'm going to make sure I'm starting to get some stuff out. So if you like YouTube shorts, make sure you're looking for that as well. But I will wrap the video up here. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to my channel members for your support. Until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.